Yes, guys, the Champions League is finally back, and talk about starting off with an absolute bang. That Bayern versus Real Madrid game was absolute cinema. But before we talk about that one, let's start off with the Arsenal versus Sporting game, which, to be honest, wasn't that exciting. I expected a lot better. Obviously, Sporting coming into this game, beating Bodo Glimt in the second leg, destroying them, bringing them to the next round, facing off against Arsenal in this quarterfinal matchup. But Arsenal, man, not the best performance whatsoever. Just 1-0 for Arsenal in this game. Sporting playing at home in Portugal in the Estadio José Alvalade. I'm assuming I said that right. But you know what? Sporting held their own. For it to only enough 1-0, going back to London, of course, is going to be a lot of pressure for Sporting to come and score a goal. Obviously, they have to score at least one goal to bring it to extra time and penalties. But also, I think Arsenal have even more pressure on them, obviously, going into that second leg. Obviously, with them coming out eliminated in the Carabao Cup, in the FA Cup, all they have for fighting for now is the Premier League and obviously the Champions League. So they're going into this this second leg with that mentality. And we've seen Arsenal before in a couple seasons prior where, you know, they start to bottle it at the end, at the tail end of the season. But you know what? Sporting started off strong in this matchup, the first leg, with Araujo hitting the post early off in the first half. Sporting did their own. You know what? Sporting held their own. They did their best they can. To be honest, in this game, there's not much to talk about, but to say that Arsenal, they're not doing as well, man. I expected a lot more goals. I understand Saka is injured and unfortunately did not play. But still, man, the level, the quality of this team that Arteta has, you're expecting more, man. This is a team that's fighting or was fighting for every single trophy, title. And you really have to go out in this game and show off and show that why you're a team like Arsenal that should be winning these titles. 1-0. I mean, at the end of the day, they did win away. A goal from Harris, who came on in the 70th minute to score. But nothing too amazing. Actually, the man of the match in this game was Raya, which is actually pretty incredible because, like I said before, Sporting had some chances. They had some good chances. So that just there shows you how Sporting had some good chances, but Raya kept Arsenal in the game. But yeah, like I said, ending off with the Arsenal Sporting game. Going into the second leg, Sporting obviously have pressure because they're down one goal, but Arsenal have the most pressure because of, you know, this time right now in the season where it's coming down to these games, these crucial games, to see if you can win any titles by the end of the season. They're probably thinking in their head with with what happened in the last couple of seasons, and everyone's saying how they're bottling it. This is a lot of pressure on Arteta and the players. So, man, I'm going for Arsenal winning the second leg, of course, again at home. But anything can happen. And I wouldn't be surprised Sporting come out in the second leg and somehow win because of the overthinking of Arteta and the players. You know, a lot of pressure. Maybe they just, you know, they crumble under the pressure. But let me know what you guys thought about that first game. Only 1-0 for Arsenal in the first leg. But now let's move on to the Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid game. As I said before, absolute cinema. Obviously, Real Madrid playing at home at the Estadio Bernabeu. But Bayern Munich is a menace, man. One of these best teams I've seen so far this season. Everyone is going absolutely crazy on that Bayern team. You got Luis Diaz, you got Kane, you got Olise, you got all these players, you got Kimmich, you got Neuer back as well for this game. So I was expecting some goals from both teams and expecting a good game, and that's what we got, to be honest. From minute one, the game was absolutely amazing. I couldn't get my eyes off the game, off the screen, because, dude, it was back and forth. I expected that as well. Obviously, I knew that Bayern Munich probably were going to hold that possession more in this game, and that Real Madrid's tactic was going to be just counterattack, look for Vini, look for Mbappe up top, who are going to stay up top, just pressing the line, the defensive line, and when they find that ball through, they'll take those chances. So that's exactly what I was expecting, and I would say that's exactly what happened in this game. Early off, I'm going to start off here with saying that Bayern Munich first half, all over Real Madrid. Olise, man, I want to talk more about him later on, but Olise, an absolute gem of a player, world-class talent, man. I didn't understand his game before. Now I see it. I didn't watch too much Crystal Palace in the Premier League. I don't watch too much Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga, but seeing him do this in the Champions League against one of the best teams, if not the best team of all time, Real Madrid. What a player, man. He made Carreras look like an absolute bum. Made him look like he had 2 left feet. Made him look like he wasn't even a professional footballer, but just a normal player. But just a normal person, actually, even. Because what he did to Carreras ending the game off with a 5.9 rating. And that's being nice. Because he, to be honest, deserves a lot lower than that. Olise on the ball. I want to talk more about him later on, but man, he's an absolute baller. Finishing off the game with an 8.5 rating as well. Man of the match and an assist to his name as well. But yeah, going again to the first half of that game, Bayern Munich all over Real Madrid. I don't know what it is, but the team, Real Madrid, man, when they have Mbappe and Vinny starting up top, it just doesn't work, man. When either one or the other plays and one or the other is injured, you just see how the team plays better off, because not only is there one player that's likes to hold the ball, but when Mbappe and Vinny are on the team, they both really want to hold the ball and be those star players going forward. So yeah, you saw that today too. Vinicius, every time the ball got to him, his first thought was attack the wing back, attack the net, attack the goalie, and score or shoot. That's all he did the whole game. I mean, that's what Vinicius does. He does that at a great level as well. He gets those goals when he needs to, but today, just not the same level. Finish off the game with a 7.5 rating. Mbappe actually finished off with an 8.1 with a goal to his name as well. But like I said before, not the best showing for both those players. Bayern Munich were attacking so much that Real Madrid just had to defend. And most times you saw just Vinicius or Vinny, touching that defensive line for Bayern, holding that line right there and trying to find those counterattacks, which they did find him very much a lot of times, actually. But Stanisic, Upamecano did their part. Upamecano, though, big moments where he messed up that I'm surprised that Real Madrid didn't take advantage of that, or that goals were coming, because Upamecano, man, great defender, but sometimes he just, I don't know what to say, man. That's why they call him Upa Mechanic. I've heard that nickname before. But yeah, like I said again, the defensive line, Huijsen, Rudiger, they did the best they can. But again, you have players like Harry Kane. You got Luis Diaz on the left. You got Olise on the right. And then you got just under them, Gnabry, who has been playing outstanding as well under Company. I don't know what Company's been doing to Gnabry. Maybe they're giving him some juice, something extra, but he's been to another level that, you know what, previous coaches, I was seeing Gnabry probably leaving the team, to be honest, because of his level. But now with Company, last season, especially this season, you're seeing him at that 10 role, and he's been playing absolutely lights out. You kind of have like 3 creative players with Olise, Gnabry, and Luis Diaz just underneath Harry Kane. That is absolutely disgusting of a front 4 that I've ever seen. And to be honest, probably the best front 4 or forwards that you can see in today's game. There's very not much other front, forwards in any other team that can really, do better than those front 4. Obviously Mbappe, Vinicius. You have Rodrigo when he's fit. You also have obviously Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Lamine Yamal. But man, to be honest, if I have to score goals and I'm taking a front 4 or front 3, I'm taking that Bayern front 3 or front 4. Man, they're absolutely lights out. But yeah, going into the game again, like I said, first goal came up actually from. Let's look at the facts here. First goal came in the 41st minute, courtesy of Luis Diaz with a pass from Serge Gnabry. Beautiful goal, actually. Luis Diaz just cooking Trent on that left-hand side, actually. And then Gnabry in an opportunity where I think Rudiger messed up, tried to clear it out. Gnabry gets the ball. Rudiger's out of position. Gnabry just sends the ball through. Luis Diaz gets the ball one-on-one with the goalie in the box, and he just finesses it bottom right corner. Luis Diaz, man, so underrated. What he did at Liverpool, now you're starting to see he was a big player, a key player for the Liverpool side. Liverpool not the same team without him. He just brings so much creativity. He's super direct, super creative, and when he gets the ball, he has an eye for goal. He has a great shot on him as well, and he's just super electric, super agile, super fast as well, and a goal that I saw coming. Luis Diaz, deservingly as well, a proper player, man. And to be honest, from all of those front four, he probably gets the least amount of credit, but to me, he deserves it, man. He is an absolute baller, and you know, that first goal, huge goal, because again, you want to score that first goal in this matchup, this type of game where two powerhouse teams. If Real Madrid scored that first goal, I'm sure that there would be a different type of, you know, morale in the stadium as well. But for Luis Diaz to score and for Bayern to score first, you heard it in the stadium. It got a lot more quiet, so definitely a big thing for them. And of course, scoring away, the next leg going to be at home in Bayern, is also a big thing. So yeah, good for Luis Diaz. The second goal though in the second half came right away after the half, with Harry Kane scoring in the 46th minute. Again, an assist from Michael Olise. Both goals, you have all their front four being a part of it. The first goal, like I said, Luis Diaz scoring it, assist by Gnabry. Second goal, Harry Kane scoring it, assist by Olise. So that right there just shows you that it's not just one or two players that are, you know, carrying that front team in Bayern. It's the whole front four that are putting their efforts in and showing off. Because look at that, Olise getting the assist, Harry Kane with a beautiful goal. Again, Harry Kane, you put it on his right foot, you can even put it on his left foot, it's almost a guaranteed goal. Olise finds Harry Kane at the top of the box. Kane's calling for it, he wants that ball, and on the one-timer, he just finesses it bottom right corner. Players in front of Lunion's face as well, defenders in front of him, you can't see that ball, but Harry Kane just finesses it, a great amount of power as well. Harry Kane, man, has probably one of the best shots in any football I've seen in a while, especially today's game. I think he has probably the best shot, but in all of football, he might have the best shot. His shots are so accurate, so powerful, and hitting on the one as well, an absolute beautiful goal. But just after that, Huijsen comes off, Pitchard from Real Madrid, the midfielder, comes off for Jude Bellingham, which I'm surprised that Bellingham didn't start. Obviously, he's still coming back from a little bit of an injury, so maybe that's why he didn't start. He comes on in the 62nd minute, but since then, kind of the same thing. Obviously, Real Madrid kind of has to press more. They're losing 2-0 at home. Not a good not a good sign for the team as well. You have to go into that second leg with at least one goal or try to tie it up, but yeah, like I said, the rest of the game in the second half, Real Madrid were mostly defending, trying to find the counterattack. And you know what? At some point it did work, because Mbappe did end up scoring in the 74th minute with a beautiful ball through, courtesy of Alexander-Arnold, finds Mbappe in the far post, and somehow he finishes that on the one-timer, I believe. Beautiful goal again. Mbappe, when he has those chances, he's a world-class forward, world-class striker. He's going to take advantage of that, so he scored a beautiful goal there. But besides that, man, yeah, the game ended off 2-1, Bayern Munich going home. But Bayern Munich, if you really think about it, and if you actually watch the game, Bayern Munich could have absolutely destroyed Real Madrid. I just think at the end of the game, you know, after the 60th, 70th minute, Bayern were just kind of relaxing, going with the flow, because the amount of times they had chances where they missed, one by Upamecano, which actually could have been their first goal in the game, and a huge opportunity as well from Gnabry from a mistake from Real Madrid. Two big moments there that they should have scored, which could have brought this game to 4-1. But besides that, a lot of other opportunities later on in the game. You had Alphonso Davies with an opportunity. You had Kane, Olise with some more opportunities. Even Luis Diaz had some more opportunities, but for some reason they just kind of, you know, backpedal, put the shift back to gear one, and didn't really push or force it anymore. I don't know why. That's what I felt like. Maybe companies told them to, like, you know, relax a bit, just hold, you know, your fitness and your stamina for the next leg, your energy. But it was, I don't know what to say, because I could have saw them score many more goals. This game could have ended off 6-1, 5-1, 7-1, because Bayern Munich were all over them. I think they didn't want to score. It just seemed like they didn't want to score. They just wanted to go with the flow. If they scored, they scored. But if they didn't, okay, we're going to the second leg with a 1-goal lead. But that's my thing. Real Madrid in the Champions League, do not underestimate them. Even though this might be a season where they're not the best. They have great players, but they're not playing at that cohesive level. Real Madrid in the Champions League cannot be underestimated. Yes, it's a goal. Yes, they're playing away in Bayern for the second leg, but Bayern Munich, they have to be worried. They have to be aware that Real Madrid is the Champions League team, and Real Madrid, I would not be surprised come into the second leg and win that game. Vinicius goes off, Mbappe goes off, Bellingham goes off. Doesn't matter what happens, but I can see it happen. We've seen it day and night where Real Madrid get overlooked and get seen as an underdog or get seen as a team that, you know what, it's over for them, and they always come out and prevail. So Bayern Munich, I hope those goals that you guys missed or didn't take chance of don't go haunting you in the second leg, because Real Madrid, I can see it happening already, winning the second leg and going forward in the Champions League. So Bayern Munich, you better hope that those goals don't count for something, man. But yeah, great game. Again, I want to talk about and end off this video talking about Olise. Olise, man, what an absolute player, man. I gotta give a shout out. I gotta clap. I gotta give props, because I'm sorry, Olise, I did not know your game like this. You were an absolute baller of a player. I don't watch much Bayern Munich. I didn't watch much Crystal Palace, like I said before. Olise, man, you have shown me today that you are a world-class talent. What you did to Carreras should be studied and should be framed, because you absolutely destroyed him. That was one of the best performances I've seen from a player in a while now. And to be honest, every time he got the ball this game, I felt like he was going to be so dangerous no matter what he did. He could cut in, cut out. Every single time he got the ball, there's only some players in this world that can control the game and bring the game or the tempo to their level. Players like Pedri, players like Lamine Yamal. But Olise as well is one of those players where once he gets that ball, the game just slows down. It goes down to his tempo. Whatever he wants to do, he's going to do. He doesn't have to force it. The players around him have to play around him. And that's what I felt today every time Olise got the ball. Because every time he got the ball, he was creating. He just felt like nonchalant. He felt like he was in his own, world. When they talk about, you being in that moment where like you're just so focused and you're just, flow state type of thing. I feel like Olise plays in flow state at all times. There is nothing that anyone can do that can get him out of that flow state, because today he was just an absolute baller, man. And like I said before, Carreras had nothing. He had nothing to stop Olise. Obviously, Guler on the right side too couldn't stop or help Carreras to stop Olise. And you know what? Last season, seeing how Olise finished so up top, or how he finished so high in the Ballon d'Or list, I was worried. I'm like, why is he so high in his Ballon d'Or list? I didn't think he deserved it. But watching this game here, he is an absolute baller. And I'm also very scared for what France is going to do in the World Cup. Because if you have Olise on the right, you have Mbappe down the middle, Dembele on the left, or vice versa. And then you got players like Cherki in the middle as a 10. France are going to be absolutely disgusting in the World Cup. And Olise is going to be a big part of that team. But yeah, Olise, man, kudos to you. You were an absolute baller, and you deserve everything, man. You are absolutely amazing, man. But that's all I have to talk about today in the Champions League games. Bayern Munich beat Real Madrid. Arsenal beat Sporting. And now we go into the second leg. Arsenal at home, Bayern at home as well. But great games today. Tomorrow today if you're watching this, we have Bayern Munich versus Atletico Madrid. And we also have PSG versus, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting, Liverpool. So those are big games as well. Obviously, my Barcelona, I hope they're going to come out with a W. But stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing a match, pre-game about that game. So stay tuned for that. But guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you want any more videos like this, and if you like these ones. But until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.